Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to the show tonight. We have a lot of things to talk about, so let's get started with this. Let's start off this program with a salute to the United States of America by the singing of the United States National Anthem. I would ask everybody at this time to please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now would you make welcome straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave blue through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the
Oh yeah! Come on, folks, let them know it.
America's finest, the United States Army Barbershop Quartet, performing at the Barbershop Quartet Convention in 2015. We want to thank these men for doing this for us. We want to thank all of our men and women in the armed forces, wherever they might be, around the globe or here in the United States. I want to thank also our allied armed forces, all the countries that support the United States throughout the world. I want to thank them for the service as well. May God bless you all. God bless you that you might return home to your families after your tours of duty end. And thank you for your service. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it ever so much. We got a lot of things to talk about. First off, the Malibu, California fire. Malibu, California fire started last night about 10:30 p.m. Okay? Now it's spread all the way out to the beach areas, all the way out to the ocean. But I want to let the people in Malibu talk about it. Let's go over to Los Angeles Fire and Los Angeles Police Department and Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office to explain this for us. Then we'll discuss this.
We have breaking news. Authorities in California are giving an update on a fast-moving wildfire prompting mandatory evacuations in Southern California. Let's listen.
And this fire is not contained, and we remain under an immediate threat because of the red flag conditions. The current red flag alert is projected to continue through Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. for strong winds and low humidities. And the cause of the fire is unknown at this time, but it is under active investigation by the Los Angeles County Fire and Sheriff's arson investigators. Lastly, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our partners, both fire and law enforcement, for their assistance this morning. We certainly couldn't do it without them. And one request from Waterworks District 29 and the Department of Public Works is to ask residents that are not in the immediate fire area to please turn off their sprinklers. We are currently monitoring our water pressure. We do have personnel on scene. That water should be used for firefighting and not to sprinkle or irrigate your lawns. And it's going to be of little use from having a brush fire start near your home. Next up, I'd like to ask our Los Angeles County Sheriff, Robert Luna, to come up and give the law enforcement update. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and good morning to all of you, and thank you for covering this very important event. The Sheriff's Department has been coordinating with our local, state, and fire partners and the County Office of Emergency Management to monitor the Franklin fire, which started in Malibu Canyon Road, north of Malibu Crest Road, and south of Francisco Ranch Road. We currently have well over 150 personnel, including our Malibu Search and Rescue, that are assisting with this fire incident. We currently have 18 operations that include evacuations, road closures, and security patrols. 9 of those missions are completed and 9 of them are still ongoing. For current closures, there are several road closures in the affected area. There is a soft closure on Las Virgenes Road at Lost Hills Road. Hard closures at Las Virgenes and Mulholland Highway and on Pacific Coast Highway between Topanga Canyon Boulevard and Canyon Doom Road. Regarding evacuations, a little after midnight, we started multiple evacuation orders and warnings in between Trancas Canyon and the west to Topanga Canyon Boulevard and everything south of Mulholland Highway to Pacific Coast Highway. There are approximately 18,000 people and 8,100 structures.
We're listening to fire officials there in Southern California warning of massive wildfires, saying there is an immediate threat, red flag warnings in place, and that this fire is not contained. So far, more than 1,800 acres have burned, lots of road closures there in the area, and firefighters are working around the clock. Meteorologist Samara Theodore is tracking that fire danger for us. Samara, what are you seeing now?
It's really the Santa Ana winds that are the main culprit here. So we have this area of high pressure, something that will build in the Great Basin often, and especially in the fall and winter months. And with that clockwise spin, you can see here we get these offshore gusty winds riding out of the desert, coming down slope. And as a result, we really see these winds pick up speed. So we've seen some wind gusts as high as 93 miles per hour. Not only that, we're dealing with some really low relative humidity, very dry conditions. And that has left areas like Santa Ana, Burbank, Murrieta, and Santee under a red flag warning. So the threat for fires still persists. What we need here is more moisture in the air, or at the very least, for these winds to grow calm, and they will. Tonight into tomorrow, we are anticipating that these winds will grow calmer as the area of high pressure moves farther east. Diane?
The problem with that, okay, that was this morning. Over almost 1,900 acres burned throughout the night into the morning. But now, the acreage that's been consumed is now over, get this, It's now over 2,800 acres and not contained. Over 2,800 acres is burned and it's still not contained. This is a very bad fire. This is a very bad fire. Okay? This was a picture on this morning on the beaches of Malibu where great big huge Chinook helicopters were picking up water and taking it out to the fire line again. Back and forth. They must have taken about 4,800 dumps between aircraft dumping on the fire and Chinook helicopter dumps on the fire all out throughout the day. 4,800 aircraft dumps on the fire today. And that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning. Let me show you some more pictures of the fire. Earlier this morning, there was a lady escorting her horse out of the fire area. Okay? This is very, very bad. You can see the very bad fire off to the right, and over here you see a dog and other animals on a truck being transported away from the fire. Very, very bad situation here near Malibu, California. This is ongoing. Look at this fireball here. Look at this fireball here. This is a gasoline tanker that blew up. Not a truck, but a gasoline tanker that was on the ground. This is what happens when these kind of situations happen. Either propane or a regular gas tanker blew. This is what it looks like. Okay? I'm going to show you another one. And this is really concerning to me. This is a group of hotshots on the ground. Hotshots are spot firefighters on the ground, hand crews on the ground trying to put out this fire. They're running into the fire, guys. They're running into the fire. And this was during the night last night. Very bad situation. And this is ongoing today. Okay, this was as of last night. This is over on the corner of a highway. Okay? The highway had been evacuated. This is a house burning out here on the corner of the highway. Other houses in the area were not touched, but this house was lit up and burned to the ground. Firefighters are in the area trying to prevent other fires from doing the same thing. They're trying to get a handle on this. They don't expect the winds to die down at all. Not until possibly late tomorrow night. Now these are very bad fire conditions. These are what they call Santa Ana conditions. Santa Ana conditions. As you heard the newscaster, the weather forecaster talk about this. Okay? These are wind conditions coming off the desert, blowing towards the seacoast. Now, when the darkness comes, the conditions reverse themselves. There is a slight sea breeze coming up off the ocean. This sea breeze sometimes is able to help firefighters gain some kind of control during the night. But early in the morning, these winds continue off the desert and fan these flames. This is when firefighters really lose control of the fires. Last night, the fire gained control because firefighters were not able to fly planes over the area at night to make dumps. This fire is mostly in mountainous terrain, hilly mountainous terrain here in Malibu area. This is very dangerous. This is a very, very dangerous situation. I want to make it very clear what is happening here. We need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay? Now this fire is under investigation. You heard the fire, or the sheriff's deputy say that. The sheriff said, actually it wasn't deputy, it was a sheriff's officer. Okay? The sheriff said that they're taking this seriously and the fire is under investigation. They do not know how it started. However, when they find out how it started, they will prosecute the individual who did it. They always do. These are very dangerous conditions. Fall into winter conditions are the worst when the Santa Ana winds develop out from the desert and blow out to the seacoast. Very, very dangerous conditions. This is going to continue, guys. This will continue. Let me give you some more information about what happened since last night. Now, last night we talked to you about earthquakes. We briefly touched on the fact that we had X-class solar flares launch off the sun. These were basically sideways hits off the sun. However, the Earth absorbed the shock waves. The Earth absorbed the shock waves from the radiating magma, or not magma, sorry, radiating radiation off the sun. The coronal holes opened up and it spit out these solar flares. The entire Earth is being affected. Now, some of these solar flares might have affected these fires as well. But Northern California has especially been hit. Okay? Hit with earthquakes. Northern California was hit as of last night with 333 earthquakes since a 7.0 hit on Thursday last week. 333 earthquakes and counting. There's even more earthquakes right now that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. With that said, Central America's also gotten hit. Indonesia's gotten hit. Central ADAC Alaska is also continuing to get hit with earthquakes. Even a 5.8 earthquake today. 5.8 earthquake today. They just got hit with a 6.3 yesterday, and now another 5.8 today. It's big time. It's big time. These solar flares are causing these earthquakes. These solar flares are causing these earthquakes. Okay? Now on to the Malibu fire. As I showed to you early on in this broadcast, I showed you a helicopter picking up water at the ocean and taking over to the land and dumping it on the fire. A tanker helicopter, a great big huge Chinook helicopter, lifts up after filling up with water, and some of these helicopters were filling up from ponds at Pepperdine University. Okay? Taking the water from these ponds and also from swimming pools and dumping it on the fire. At Malibu Buffs Park, at the end of Malibu Canyon. The Franklin fire, as I showed you a few minutes ago, had reached the beach. The Franklin fire had reached the ocean. The fire jumped Pacific Coast Highway, charring the trees and baseball fields in those areas. This is a hallmark of the Malibu fires. Very much a hallmark of the Malibu fires, where the Santa Ana winds come off the desert and fan the flames over the mountains and hillsides all the way down to the beach. We've seen this happen in previous years. About 5 years ago, I spoke about a fire in San Diego County. The fire reached all the way to Encinitas. It burned homes all the way through Encinitas, all the way over to the beach area at the ocean. This happens. We hope it doesn't do that again this year in San Diego. Parts of Malibu are under mandatory evacuations as firefighters try to control the Franklin fire. As of this afternoon, the fires led to minimal damage to structures, but no one has been injured as of yet. No firefighters or civilians. One of the reasons is because of the mandatory evacuations that were called as a fire got started last night. But no one has been injured. The coastal city is used to be in the firefighters' sites. Much of the central area of Malibu, including Pepperdine University, was under an evacuation order. Along Pacific Coast Highway, between Topanga Canyon Boulevard and Malibu Canyon Road, rows of clothing shops, restaurants were closed. A few people stood outside their beach homes, glancing at the smoke billowing from the mountains. Ash fell on the streets as fire trucks and semi-trucks transporting heavy equipment over to the fire traveled out to the south. Near the Malibu Pier, a lone surfer caught waves while two lifeguards stood watch from their truck. In the distance, the sound of helicopters could be heard. The fire moved all the way down Malibu Canyon, charring hillsides, burning homes and other outbuildings. But seemingly, it spared dozens of homes in its march to the shore. An outbuilding separate from the main house in Malibu Knolls burned, but other homes around it were left unscathed. In Carbon County, hand crews toiled cutting containment lines around the fire. Chinook helicopters continued to dip down into the lagoon areas along the vast lawns of Pepperdine University, sucking up water to battle the fire. After a couple minutes, it lifted again off from where it was at, picking up water and heading out to the immense plumes of smoke billowing out from the Civic Center. The sound of the vast rotors of the helicopters rippled through the air last night, tossing up the lagoon's waters in the misty haze. Without Wi-Fi and cell phone service, many Malibu families fled the Franklin fire in darkness last night. The wildfire quickly grew and windy, dry Santa Ana winds blew in and conditions got worse in Malibu. The fires now destroyed homes and forced residents to flee. As of this afternoon, about 700 firefighter personnel were involved in efforts to contain this blaze. It was insane, according to one Malibu evacuee, Jessica Jones. She told the LA Times the bright red flames and glow of the fire were all around the ridgeline as we were leaving. Jones and her companion Matthew Ryder fled the fire with four things that were very important to them. Their goats who was named Willie, Russell, and Ginger, and the potbelly pig Penelope fled the fire. The cause of this fire again is unknown. And again, the Los Angeles police and the LA Sheriff's Office are investigating with their fire crews, and the LA Fire Department smoke jumpers are also here trying to investigate. Santa Ana winds are to blame for the extremely dangerous fire conditions, with winds up to 65-70 miles an hour. At one point last night, 93-mile-per-hour winds here in Malibu. Gusts over 50 miles per hour were prominent all over the fire area. This is continuing. Combine these Santa Ana winds with single-digit humidity levels. Single-digit humidity levels. That's what makes these fires and winds so dangerous. Low humidity levels gets all that fresh tinder that's close to the ground and literally dries it out. And then when these winds fan the flames, it comes in and gets that dry tinder and it's all over. Then we have a very bad fire. Fire officials said that a number of homes have burned, but there are no reports of serious injuries or deaths as a result of this fire. Crews first responded to the fire at about 10:45 p.m. last night. The evacuation order has encompassed about 6,000 people, and more than 2,000 structures have been evacuated. Pepperdine University canceled classes this morning and finals for the day after. and there was a shelter-in-place order in place around Pepperdine University and the surrounding area. The order was lifted early this morning, but people are still being cautioned to stay out of the area. Flames could be seen from the campus, according to a university statement. Fire engines were on campus. Helicopters were dropping water collected from the lakes on the school's alumni park onto the fire. The university understands that the worst of the fire has pushed past Pepperdine. However, there are still smaller spot fires on campus, and that those fires are not, I repeat, they are not threatening life and structures. And fire resources remain on Pepperdine University campus to address those spot fires as they occur. The hand crews are also on site. One student said, just seeing the flames grow and seeing that bright red color of the fire just get brighter and brighter and brighter, it was so scary. The National Weather Service in Los Angeles, I spoke to them earlier this morning, and I spoke to them again this afternoon. They said that the winds, north to northeast winds, were expected to increase to 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 65 expected. Homes have been destroyed in Malibu. Wildfire that grew and got windy conditions to back it up. Burned and destroyed homes and forced residents to flee. As I've said, its name is a Franklin fire. Fire crews for years and years and years, as far back as I can remember, have been naming these fires. This is a Franklin fire, and it has burned more than, let me look here, it's burned more than 4 square miles near the campus of Pepperdine University as of this afternoon. As I said, over 700 fire crews are personally involved in the effort to fight this fire. One Malibu evacuee named Jessica Jones told the LA Times, "It was insane. The bright red flames and the glow of the fire were all around, all over the ridgeline as they were leaving. It's incredible. It was incredible as they pulled their animals out of there and they got evacuated." One person said it was a particularly dangerous situation. The Santa Ana wind event in Southern California is always bad. As I said, the cause of the fire is not immediately known. But again, the Santa Ana winds are to blame. The Santa Ana winds are to blame because of the dangerous fire conditions that they pose. And everyone needs to understand exactly what that means. You need to be very cautious. Very, very cautious. As I am now getting information, I understand there is a fire in San Diego County. And we're going to keep an eye on it, and if that gets up anywhere where we need to talk about it, we will. Okay? Hurricane Heather says California has 2 seasons, fire season and not fire season. Heather, you're probably right. I've seen it happen that way. Fire officials are saying that a minimal number of homes have been burned here. But again, there are no reports of serious injuries or deaths at all. I want to make that clear. So far, there have been no injuries from firefighters or civilians that have been involved with this fire. 6,000 people have been evacuated. Over 2,000 homes have been evacuated. Okay? The evacuation warning went into effect last night after the fire started, sometime after 10:30 p.m. last night. Okay? The forecast tonight calls for gusts up to 80 miles per hour. And in some wind-prone spots, humidity levels could dip into single digits. That's going to be bad. Portions of the Pacific Coast Highway, from Topanga Canyon down to State Route 27 to Canine Dome, Doom Road in Malibu. Let me repeat that again. I messed it up, I think. From Topanga Canyon Boulevard, also known as State Route 27, to Canaan Doom Road in Malibu, have been closed as a result of the fire. Again, Pepperdine University is closed for its classes and finals for today and tomorrow. And like I said, there's a shelter-in-place order. There is a shelter-in-place order. Let me just briefly go through this and see if there's anything more that I need to tell you. Power to tens of thousands of people have been shut off last night as utility workers work to mitigate the impacts of Southern California's notorious Santa Ana winds. So power outages are prevalent. Okay? The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning. High fire risk because of the low humidity involved with these winds and the possibility of a high fire danger as a result of those winds. It's called a red flag warning. A particularly dangerous situation, also known as PDS. PDS. Now, there is one evacuation center that I want to tell you about. The evacuation center has been set up at the Palisade Recreational Park. The Palisade Recreational Center at 851 Real Drive. 851 Real Drive, R-E-A-L Drive in Pacific Palisades. Recreation Center at 851 Real Drive, Pacific Palisades. Areas evacuated include much of central Malibu, affecting 6,000 people. Tuna Creek to Carbon Beach. Carbon Beach to Puerco Canyon. Approximately Puerco Canyon to Truncas Canyon. In addition, a 6-mile stretch, a 6-mile portion of Pacific Coast Highway has been ordered closed east to Coral Canyon Road and west to Las Flores Canyon Road. The city of Malibu has reported Las Virginias Road is closed south of Mulholland Highway to Pacific Coast Highway. Ventura County Fire. Those wonderful men and women over Ventura County who had their own fire just a few months ago are now providing mutual aid to the firefighting efforts over here in Malibu. They're to be applauded. They're to be applauded. Other firefighters from all over Los Angeles have also been over here to provide mutual aid to Malibu Fire Department and the California Fire Agency, CAL FIRE. Does anybody have any questions about this fire? I want to make sure we've answered all questions and given you the information you need. I don't want to leave any stone unturned here. This is very important. I think this is very, very important here. Any questions here? Aaron Smith's talking about earthquakes in the area generate friction deep inside the surface, and sometimes that friction can cause heat, and heat can definitely cause fires. I don't think that's the reason in this particular situation. Yes, it is possible. It is possible. But in this particular situation, I don't think it is. Okay? Yes, it could be from hot spots underground. Now, just so you know, there are volcanoes over here in the Los Angeles area. There are volcanoes in the Los Angeles area. And with those volcanoes, over near the coast, you see there's underground magma channels headed those volcanoes over to the east. those magma channels can generate heat to the ground surface to light this tinder on fire. That is possible. That is possible. Okay? Alan Newton is asking, what are the chances of this being an arson? I believe it's highly probable. I think it's probably 80% possible. Okay? Catherine Sigerson said, Arnold, do you think the chemicals they spray on the sky can help ignite fires? Yes, they are. That definitely can happen. Okay? Now, I don't know all the twos and wherefores of these chemicals in the air, but I know that some of them can catch fire. They're highly flammable. Arnold Smith is saying the winds are not the cause. You're right. The winds are not the cause. The winds come up and fan the flames. The winds aren't the cause. Someone or something with this fire. Okay? Hurricane Heather says, I surely hope it isn't. I agree.
Fox Islands, Aleutian Islands, class moderate, magnitude 5.1, depth 6.2 miles, 46 minutes ago.
We had another 5.1 earthquake up in the Aleutian Islands just a few minutes ago. Paul is asking, how many more acres will it burn? I'm going to say this right off the top of my head. I have a feeling that this particular fire, the Franklin fire, is going to burn another 1,000 acres, which means it's probably going to be up to like 3,500. Well, actually, it's probably going to get close to 4,000 or above before this fire is under control. Okay? I believe it's probably going to be upwards of 4,000, 4,500. It's already at over 2,800 now. Okay? Ready Now says 2,500 acres so far that's been reported by helicopter crew. I was told by an LA fire captain that it was up at 2,800 acres about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So yes, that's high. That's high. Catherine Sigerson said, you have a picture of the whole area. Let me try to pull up the information I've got. I showed you some pictures already. Let's see what else I have here. This is one of the areas here. This is the Pacific Coast Highway. This is the Pacific Coast Highway. I've driven down this highway many times in the Malibu area. Okay? This is just below the fire area. Okay? Let me show you another picture here. Let's see here. This is the coastal area where the fire burned down to the beach earlier today. Okay? Let me see if there's another picture that I can put up here. Hold on a second. This next picture I'm going to show you is down at the site of the fire, and this may trigger some people. So I want to tell you this. If you get triggered by very bad fire scenes, turn your head away from this next picture. Okay? Look at that, guys. Unreal. Okay, this is real time. Look at those fire embers blowing in the wind. And there's a firefighter there trying to get to the other side of the roadway here. That's real. That's very real. Let me show you another picture of the beach area with the smoke. Every time we've had a fire in Southern California, including in San Diego, this is what we typically saw. Just a second here. Just a second here, I'm pulling it up now. This is typically what we've seen down near the beach areas in San Diego and Los Angeles. This is very typical. I'm trying to find this one picture here. I'm pulling more information here, more pictures to show you. I've got a picture here I just found of a bomber, a great big huge braid, what they call a braid bomber. This is a bomber that carries fire retardant and drops it on the scene of a fire. Right there. This is a braid bomber, the chemical that they use to put out fires here. And the next picture I'm going to show you is an aerial photograph of the area around Malibu Hills. It's going to show you at least one beautiful home here in the foreground that's going to blow your mind. Okay, it hasn't come up yet. I'm sorry. Just a second. Just a second, let me pull this picture here. Okay, this is a home, and the fire's burning through the Malibu Hills here. Isn't that incredible? And this is actually what it looks like. Beautiful, beautiful homes out here. And yes, some of these homes burned. Canadian Patriot 1 says he wishes he could send snow and other moisture there to put it out. I agree. Wouldn't that be nice, Dave? Wouldn't that be just great? But this is what's happening right now in Malibu, California. Okay? It's incredible. Let me show you one more. And this will be the final shot from Malibu at Pepperdine University. This was last night. Just a second. This is a scene at Pepperdine University last night. This shows you how far down the fire came and how close it was to the university. And you can see homes and cars going down a roadway over there near the fire. This is an incredible sight. This is an incredible sight. Again, this fire has destroyed homes and structures throughout the Malibu area, but it's unknown to the extent of the damage or the number of homes that have been burned. There's been no set number where they've said this is how many homes have been burned. We don't know that yet. Okay? But as of last night, at midnight, the fire had already consumed 1,800 acres. As of this afternoon, about 4 o'clock, it had consumed over 2,800 acres, and it's still burning out of control. Yes, Catherine, fire scenes can be scary. I fought fires. I've also been at fire scenes, helping out putting up a communications command post so all units in that area, all firefighters and law enforcement units could talk and assess what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So I've been there, done that. Richard Smith is still reporting a 2.1 earthquake over in Nevada. Nevada's still shaking. It's still rocking and rolling. Let me pull up the information on the USGS map so I can show you what is going on. It's very, very evident what's happening in California and Nevada. Okay? I just got access to the map right here myself. I looked at this before I came on the air. It's very evident what's going on. This is Nevada. Okay? This is out near Yerington, Nevada, and Carson City, Nevada, where this earthquake hit yesterday evening. This they said was a 58, or excuse me, not 58. This was a 5.8 earthquake. A 5.8 earthquake. And as you can see, we're still getting hundreds of aftershocks. Hundreds of aftershocks. After it hit just after 3 o'clock here in the Western time zone yesterday afternoon, within 1 hour time period, there were over 50 aftershocks. And now you can see what we're showing here. This is huge. And it's still rocking and rolling out here. Okay? Yes, there is a fault here. You can see this river here. But like I said last night, I can zoom in here. You can see these rounded areas. These rounded areas is where years ago, it could be hundreds of years ago, magma had pushed up towards the surface and not broken the surface here. Other areas of Nevada, it actually broke the surface. Here in this area, it did not break the surface, but you can see these round mounds all over this area like I showed you last night. Magma could have been the cause of this. Magma down underneath the ground could have been the cause, or partial cause, of this earthquake. I don't believe it was the full cause of this earthquake at all. Okay? I believe there are other reasons, and I will get into that probably before the end of the week. Okay? But Nevada is still rocking and rolling. Let's back out of here. Let's go over to Northern California. Okay? Watch what we're going to see here, what we're going to show you here. Look at this earthquake just north and west of this swarm of earthquakes. This is Sparks, Nevada. 12 kilometers east-southeast of Sparks, Nevada. This earthquake was felt all the way over to Utah. All the way over to Utah. This may have been a much bigger earthquake than they're saying. Okay? Big deal. Big deal. Look at the California earthquakes here, just off the coast. Okay? We're still rocking and rolling here. About 30 earthquakes here off the coast of Northern California. And look at the number of earthquakes along the San Andreas Fault just off the coast of Northern California here. It's still rocking and rolling. We even have an earthquake just north of here along the coast, 13 kilometers north-northwest of Ferndale, California, off the coast. This is another earthquake here, right here. This is a 2.93.0 here, west-northwest of Bayview, California. The area is still rocking and rolling. One other earthquake on land here. This is a 2.0 earthquake here. This is 4 miles north-northeast of Ferndale, California. California is still rocking and rolling here. Now this earthquake hit here first. We had a 7.0 here, and it came out as a 7.2. They downgraded the darn thing to 7.0. I believe this earthquake was stronger than they said it was. Okay? But they immediately hid the evidence. They immediately changed the readings from the seismographs all throughout this area. They changed the evidence. Okay? What does that mean? They falsified data. They falsified data, guys. This isn't the first time. This is not the first time. If I'd done this on a police report, I'd still be in jail over it. But USGS does it all the time. They don't think anything else about it. They just do that. Let's go over here to Alaska. Let's go up here to Alaska here. Okay, look at this. Adak, Alaska, guys. We still have swarms of earthquakes hitting here. We actually had a 5.8 hit here. Okay? And this is it. This 5.8 earthquake hit just after 1 p.m. Eastern Time today. 5.8 earthquake. This is a 5.1 that just hit just a little while ago. Okay? It's still hitting. It's not over. Now, the United States Geological Survey is not showing even half the earthquakes here. They're not showing even half the earthquakes that are hitting here. There's a lot more than this. I will say this, okay? USGS never shows the extent of the earthquakes. They never show the extent of the earthquakes. Today, they're saying there's 374 earthquakes on the map today. Really? Only 374. There's a lot more earthquakes hitting right here just south of Aveyah, Alaska. There's over 100 plus earthquakes right now over in Nevada. Okay? But they're not even showing all the earthquakes in Nevada either. They're not. They can't possibly do that because they never will. Heaven forbid that we know the truth of what's going on. Heaven forbid we know the truth. It'll never happen. Never happen. Now, they've already taken earthquakes down over here in the Fiji-Tonga area. There were 3 earthquakes down here in the Fiji-Tonga area earlier. Okay? Let me see if it comes up on my other device here, because I want you to see this. They're showing even less earthquakes than USGS is showing here. This is the EMSC map here. And they're showing even less earthquakes here. How can you possibly get correct information when the agencies don't even cooperate with each other? They only show what they want to show, and that's it. Okay? Yes, they're showing a 5.1 here. And they're showing that 5.8. It's incredible what they're getting away with. Now, the EMSC has also taken down, they've also taken down the earthquakes over in Fiji and Tonga. We had a 4.5, we had a 4.7, and we had a 4.8 earthquake over here in the Fiji-Tonga region. They've taken them down. Unreal. Unreal. Look what we're seeing over in Indonesia. Indonesia going up in the Philippines. Earthquake after earthquake after earthquake. But again, let's move over here and show you what USGS is showing. Nothing. They're showing one earthquake down here in Indonesia. At least the EMSC is showing you all these earthquakes here. Okay? Dozens of earthquakes over here in Indonesia. Northern Sumatra, 2.2 earthquake. Northern Sumatra, 2.2 earthquake. 3.9, 4.0 earthquake. 3.9, 4.0 earthquake, right there. Going further south, this is over just in the south central part of Sumatra. This is Bengkulu, Indonesia. Bengkulu, Indonesia with a 3.4 small earthquake. Over in just off the coast of Java. Just off the coast of Java, we have a 4.4 earthquake here. We go further east. Okay? Tenggara, Indonesia, a 2.5 and a 2.9. Tenggara, Indonesia, 2.9 and a 2.5 earthquake right there. This is east of Java. East of Java. We go over to north central Philippines. Or I'm sorry, not Philippines, north central Indonesia. This is a 3.2 earthquake here. Okay? 3.2 earthquake there, Sulawesi, Indonesia, basically. Okay? Then we go over just south of Mindanao, Philippines. Okay? This is near Jose Abad Santos, Philippines. This is a 3.4 earthquake here. Jose Abad Santos, Philippines. 3.4 earthquake there. We go just northeast of there. These are both on the fault zone, the Philippine fault zone. This is a 4.7 moderate earthquake there. Okay? We go further north. Now, where we are going off the northeast coast of Mindanao, Philippines, about 5 months ago, there was an 8.4 earthquake here. Today, we have a 4.0 and a 3.1. 4.0 and a 3.1 aftershocks of the 8.4 earthquake that struck here just about 5 months ago. Okay? Huge earthquake there, and it's still shaking there. Now, let's go north into central Philippines. This is Calpe, Philippines. This is a 3.1 earthquake here, central Philippines. Then we go just further north and east to Punta, actually, that's not what I want to show you. We go further north and east to Hernani, Philippines. This is a 3.3 earthquake here. But again, what is USGS showing us? Basically nothing. Basically nothing. Okay? USGS is showing us just this. Tubelo, Indonesia, a 4.8. This is Ponta Gait, Philippines. I showed you this one. This was a 4.7. They're not showing the other earthquakes over here near Mindanao, Philippines here. They're not showing the other earthquakes over here in central Philippines either. They're literally not showing anything. Okay? They're literally not showing anything there. Now, I want to go over here further to the north. Over in Luzon, North Luzon, Philippines, this is a 3.1 earthquake. As you can see on the USGS map, they're not showing that either. Heaven forbid they show these earthquakes here in Luzon, Philippines. That's a 3.1. 2 earthquakes in southern Luzon. We have a 3.1 and a 3.2 here. Southern Luzon, Philippines. USGS is not showing that one either. Let's go further north here. Okay, they are showing this earthquake here. This is off the northeast coast of Taiwan. USBS is showing this as a 4.3, belonging 47 kilometers northwest of Yonaguni, Japan. Yonaguni, Japan. Again, all the islands out here north and east of Taiwan belong to Japan. All these islands out here belong to Japan. Okay? This here, folks, is near Yonaguni, Japan. 29 miles northwest of Yonaguni, Japan. Okay? Let's zoom out here again. Let's go over here to Japan. They're not showing any earthquakes here, but there is one earthquake. Southern Japan. This is a 2.7 earthquake in southern Japan. Unreal. Unreal. They're showing one earthquake over here in Kyrgyzstan. There's a 4.4 earthquake here. 4.4 earthquake over here in Kyrgyzstan. Okay? This is a 4.7 over here in Afghanistan. So the EMSC is showing this 4.4 in Kyrgyzstan, and USBS is showing the 4.7 in Afghanistan. And the EMSC is not showing that earthquake. Okay? That shows you there's earthquakes there that they don't want to talk about at all. Isn't that wild? I think it's crazy. I really think it's crazy. Let's go over here to the eastern side of Turkey, right here. Folks, this is the area where Turkey-Syria has a border region. And in this border region, over a year and a half ago, there was a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake, major earthquake. It created a fissure that's 18 stories deep and it's 14 miles long. That's how strong that earthquake was. It also killed over 5,000 people and injured over 5,000 more. Today here they're not showing any earthquakes. Why not? Why not? Look at all the earthquakes here. Why are they not showing that? Because they don't want to. They don't want to. They want to make everybody think that there's nothing going on. There is. Right here, there's over 35 earthquakes. 35 earthquakes in this region. Yes, most of these are tremors. 1.1. 3. Actually, this is a 3.1 here. This is a small earthquake. But again, most of these are tremors. This is a 0.9 microquake here, for example. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. This is 0.8. This is the 1.1. This is a 2.1. This is 1.7. But every earthquake here, if you had been in that 9.0, 10.0 earthquake, what would you think when one of these earthquakes hit? Are we going to get hit again? What's going on? And they're not talking to the people. These people are not talking to anybody here. They don't have any authorities here to talk to. They're not talking to anybody like me. They're not talking to anybody at the USGS or the Turkey Seismic Agency. Nobody. Yet they have all these earthquakes every day. All these earthquakes every day. And nobody to talk to. They're happening. Over here in northern Turkey, we have some tremors here in northern Turkey here. This is a 1.6 tremor here, together with a 2.0 earthquake here. Minor earthquake. Southern Turkey, we have 1.5, 1.9, 2.2, and a 1.9. We have a 2.2 and a bunch of ones here. Southern Turkey. We go further out to the west. Mugla, Turkey. It's a 1.4 tremor here. Other tremors here, 1.7 and 1.9. But just off the coast of Turkey, we have the Dokanese Islands. The Dokanese Islands belong to Greece. Here's a 2.5 out here. Right there. These islands off the coast of Turkey belong to Greece. This is a 2.5 minor earthquake there. One other earthquake also out here is a 2.4. Okay? Let me pull the USGS map out here so you can see what's going on with USGS. They're not showing anything, are they? Not a thing. They're only showing 379 earthquakes worldwide. Now they're only showing 366. They lowered the number of earthquakes. There's over 100 earthquakes in Nevada. Why are they not showing the numbers? Why are they not showing the numbers? Let's come over here to Greece. Northern Greece, look at all the earthquakes here. Why are they not showing all these earthquakes here in Greece? Right there. Why are they not showing these earthquakes in Greece? Let's go over to Italy. In southern Italy, here's a 1.5 tremor here. USGS showing nothing. Let's go over here to central Italy. Molise, Italy, 1.3. Campanian, Italy, a 2.7 here. But yet they're not showing anything. Central Italy, 0.9 Lazio in Italy, 0.9, 1.0 tremor. Further north, Marsh, Italy, 1.6. Further to the west, 1.3 Tuscany, Italy, here. Okay? Further out to the east is 0.9 in Umbria, Italy, 1.0 tremor. Now, we, just for kicks and giggles, here in central Italy, we have 6, 8, 10 earthquakes here in central Italy. 10 earthquakes here in central Italy. USGS not showing a single one of those. Now, you see the Himalaya mountain, or not the Himalayas, I'm sorry, the Alps. You see the Alps mountains here. Okay, that separate Italy from Germany and Switzerland and gosh, I can't remember all the countries here. There's a bunch of them here. In the Alps mountains, Southern Alps, Lombardy, Italy, we have a 1.6 tremor here. They're not showing that seismic energy either. Here are we. That's called an earthquake. Over to the north central part of Germany, 0.7 microquake. I'm sorry, right up here. This is a 0.7 microquake here in North Germany. Interesting. Over here in Switzerland, in the Alps Mountains of Switzerland, is 0.8 and a 1.7 here. This is actually Italy here. Up here just to the north is Switzerland. They're not showing that either, are they? Not a thing. Not a thing. Let's go over further south over here in France. This is a 2.2 earthquake near Bordeaux-Ogos, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, France. A 2.2 earthquake here. They're not showing that on the USGS map, are they? Not a thing. Now, they do have one earthquake over here near Brittany, France. This is a 2.4 earthquake here. 2.4 earthquake here. Again, they're not showing this either. Not a thing. Nothing. Not a thing here. Now, usually over here in the border region between France and Spain, right in this area here, we have some earthquakes. Today there's nothing here, but just south of the border region in Spain. Okay? Here we have a 2.5 earthquake here. 2.5 earthquake here. You go further south, a 1.6. We go north into central Spain, 1.9, 2.0 earthquake. 1.9, 2.0 earthquake here. Southern Spain, 1.6 and a 1.6 earthquake here. Tremors. Tremors. But they're not showing anything here either. What's up with that? Nothing here in Spain at all. This is one of the reasons the USGS can get away with not saying anything. Oh, right now we only have 366 earthquakes worldwide. That's because you're not showing anything. Now, down between Spain and Morocco. Down between Spain and Morocco, we have some earthquakes. These two earthquakes are on a fault here, just east of the Strait of Gibraltar. We have a 1.7 and we have a 2.4 earthquake. 1.7 and 2.4 earthquake here. Just about a year ago, we had a 5.0 earthquake right here. Just about a year ago. And you can see the Strait of Gibraltar on the USGS map. They're not showing much of anything, are they? Nothing. Nothing. Over here in the Azores, off the west coast of Spain, south of Portugal, the Azore Islands here. 3 earthquakes, a 2.4, a 2.2, and another 2.0. 2.0, 2.2, and a 2.4 earthquake here in the Azores. We're not showing anything here on the USGS map. Nothing. Not a thing. Why am I showing you all this? Why do you think I'm showing you all this? Because they are lying to us. They're out and out lying to us, guys. Falsifying information. We've had another earthquake over here in Iceland. Okay? This time, the southern part of Iceland here. Okay? 2 earthquakes. Actually 3 earthquakes. A 2.2, a 2.1, and a 2.0. 2.2, a 2.1, and a 2.0. Southern Iceland. They're not showing you anything. Nothing over here in Southern Iceland at all. Why not? Why not? Now, folks, guess what? This is a glacier. And underneath this glacier, we have another volcano. We have another volcano. This volcano has not erupted in a long, long time. But we're still having earthquakes here. We are still having earthquakes here. Now, Heather has been talking about what's going on. Okay? He's talking about becoming self-sufficient with everything that's going on. Literally with everything that's going on. You've seen what's going on in Nevada. And prior to that, just off the coast of Northern California. We're having big earthquakes. Another large, very strong earthquake over in Atka, Alaska, today at 5.8. We're having some very strong earthquakes as a result of solar flares. Now, I want to tell you something, okay? For those of you that have Facebook, I put up a post late last night, and there's a reason I did it. There is a very good reason why I put up the post. It was a poll, because I wanted to know how many of you had earthquake kits or emergency kits. How many of you have an emergency kit? You have any idea? Have you been following along with what I've been talking about for the past 5.5+ years? What have I been talking about? The only question I asked in this poll, do any of you have an emergency preparedness kit? I've had 11 comments. One of my buddies said his entire house is an emergency preparedness kit. It keeps his house from burning down. That's what he said. I want to look at the other comments. I want to look at the other comments here. One of my buddies that I work with on some of these, well, all of the disaster drills I've done, and I've worked with him on a couple other things as well. He and his wife said, you need to live your life like our ancestors. You need to live your life like our ancestors. Then you are set for anything. That was his comment. One of my other friends here in Morganton says, I'm a lot more prepared than before. Possibly because she's been watching our program. Now, one of my longtime friends here on this channel, most of you know her as Scooter Pie. She said, yes, thanks to you, Ron, in capital letters. She lives up near the Seattle, Washington area in the Pacific Northwest. Another longtime viewer of this program put up, I have a few things. I need a backpack, but it takes dollars. She doesn't have a backpack to store her supplies in. To that I'm going to say, go get a plastic tote that you can put your supplies in. That way, all you have to do is grab the tote, load it in your car, and leave if you have to leave. If you have a fire over by Malibu, you grab your kit and leave. You can evacuate with it. But if you want a backpack, you can find those at dollar stores. Dollar stores have decent backpacks some of the time. One of my longtime friends from my childhood, back when we were teenagers in North Dakota, he now lives in Pennsylvania. He says, yes, he does, but it needs to be updated. To my buddy Dave, please update your preparedness kit. Please update your preparedness kit. One of my other longtime viewers of this program, notice I'm not showing any names. One of my other viewers says, always, brother. Always. She has a preparedness kit and she's been keeping it up. Someone else that I know says, no, I don't. Someone else says, not really anymore. To them, I'm going to ask this question, why not? To those of you that know me and have been watching this program, why do you not have a preparedness kit? I keep showing you reasons every day that you need to have a preparedness kit. I keep showing you earthquakes. I keep showing you fires. I keep showing you tornadoes. I show you floods, heavy-duty rainstorms. You need to have a preparedness kit, guys. We had a hurricane back in September 27th, if I remember right. September 27th, a hurricane blew through here. One of my friends lost their house. One of my friends here lost their house. Members of our church, friends of theirs, went over to their house and loaded up things out of their destroyed house, wearing hard hats, carried their emergency preparedness kit to their new house that another friend of theirs gave them to live in. Do you have a preparedness kit? If not, why not? Back in 2014, FEMA came out and put out a one-question survey. A one-question survey. Do you have a preparedness kit? Their exact question was this. Do you have a 72-hour kit? One question. One question to several hundred emergency managers all over the country. Do you have a 72-hour kit? 2014, just 10 years ago, FEMA was asking everybody to have a 72-hour kit. And back at that time period, they were telling everybody else, you need to have a preparedness kit, and your managers, your emergency managers in your towns and cities are supposed to help you, teach you how to have an emergency preparedness kit. But guess what? Guess what? Only 25% of emergency managers, only 25% of emergency managers had a preparedness kit. Why not? Apparently, emergency managers were not doing their darn job. Emergency managers were not doing their darn job. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past, I've shown you a 72-hour kit here. In the past, I've shown you Carolyn Mine's emergency preparedness kit we have. We have it. I am trying to be an example for all of you. We keep showing you emergencies and disasters literally all over the world. All over the world. At what point in time are all of you going to follow my example? I'm not doing it. Yes, I am doing it for Carol and myself and our family. I'm doing it for us. But I'm also trying to do it for you, to show you what you need to do. Because things happen. Things happen. My dear friend Laura, that I've known for more years than I wanted to admit to, she says she hopes that more than 25% of the listeners here have a 72-hour kit. Yes, I keep reminding you about it. With everything that's been going on, even during the past 7 days, you need to know what's going on. You need to be aware of what's going on around you. Second, you need to have a preparedness kit. You need to have a preparedness kit. Like I said, all those earthquakes that are happening around Petrolia, California, that are filtering down the coast from the San Andreas Fault. Folks, we are about to have a major earthquake in San Francisco. We are about to have a major earthquake in San Francisco. Everything points to that. And I keep showing you all the scientific evidence showing that there's going to be a major earthquake in Southern California. I'm showing you the fires in Southern California. 6,000 people were evacuated because of the Malibu fire. Do you think they had 72-hour kits? I doubt it. I doubt it. Because the emergency manager in Malibu probably doesn't have a 72-hour kit. In fact, I'm going to call him tomorrow. I'll call him tomorrow. And I'll ask him point blank if he has an emergency preparedness kit or a 72-hour kit. I'd settle for that. Each emergency manager, I don't care whether you're in England or Ireland or Scotland or Wales or over in Iceland, every person, every family should have a preparedness kit. When they evacuated the beautiful little town in Iceland, people were saying that they had emergency kits then. They had emergency kits, and they grabbed them and took them. I know that Iceland is pretty hardy. Iceland is pretty hardy. Yes, they know they've had earthquakes. Yes, they have known that they've had volcanic eruptions. But those people have gotten their acts together. I'm asking all of you to do the same. Cowboy Roy Rogers is here saying we should each actually have a 2-week emergency bug-out kit. I agree. A 2-week bug-out kit plus 2-year food supply. A 2-year food supply at home. I agree. I totally agree with that. I moved here from Santa, Utah. In Santa, Utah, I had nearly a year's supply of food there. Since Carol and I have been living here, we have nearly a year's supply of food here. We're getting close to a year's supply of food here. I'm urging all of you to do the same, please. Please do the same. I want to save your lives. We're in a position right now, literally, we are in a position right now that if anything else happens, there's going to be a lot of people that die. There will be a lot of people that die because they are not prepared. Dustin K just gave us a $20 super chat. Dustin, I want to thank you very much for that. Dustin says, Merry Christmas, Ron. Keep up the good work. He appreciates me. I appreciate each one of you. Dustin, I just gave you an EMA sticker on your super chat, and I'm also giving you a thumbs up for that. I appreciate all of you who give us super chats or super thanks. I care about each one of you. I appreciate your support. But right now, I want to ask you to please, try and put together an emergency preparedness kit. I would love to say that 50% of people that watch this program have a preparedness kit. We talk about emergencies and disasters all the time. Fridays are devoted to Preparedness Fridays, where we talk about preparedness topics. Every Friday. I'm asking a simple favor. They'll only benefit you. It won't benefit me other than me knowing that you followed my suggestion, followed my advice. But I want you to save your own lives. When something happens in your neck of the woods, that you will be ready to handle it. That you will be ready to handle it. Today, sometime in the next 24 hours, when you go to the store the next time, pick up one extra package of food, one extra can of food, and put it in your food supply, in your pantry. One more extra can or package of food. It might cost you $1, a whole $1. Yes, I understand a lot of people are on fixed incomes. But for yourself, pick up one extra package or one extra can and put it in your pantry. That way you're at least getting started with a preparedness kit, food-wise. We want everybody to also have a first aid kit and have the medical supplies that you need to survive whatever's going to happen, including prescription medicine. Prescription medicine. Every time I go to the doctor every 6 months, every doctor I go to asks me what medicines that I'm taking. And I have to put together a list of all the medications that I am taking. And yes, I have a 90-day supply of prescription medicines for me. And Carol and I have other medicines here. Tylenol and Advil. We've got vitamins and other things we have here, just in case something happens. Folks, we're living frugally. We don't have a lot. But we have each other. And every chance we get, we try to put just one more thing away to help ourselves. One more thing away to help our family. And I'm asking all of you to do the same. Please. Please. I don't want you to live in fear. A lot of people are living in fear every day because they see things happen. If you are prepared, you're not going to fear. Lord told us that in the scriptures. If you're prepared, you shall not fear. Fact. It's a fact. If we are ready, if we are doing the things the Lord wants us to do, we're not going to be fearful, are we? We're going to be ready when the Lord comes again. And I'm telling you right now, I'm to that point of being very ready. I Am Planet Hermit says they're disabled and on a fixed income. I also have a year's supply of food working on water. Hermit, I want to give you a high five. I want to give you a high five. Thank you for that. I'm so happy you have that. Yes, you're disabled. But when something happens, you at least have a year's supply of food and a medical kit. And you're working on water. That's wonderful. I hope and pray each one of us are there. I hope and pray each one of us are there. Heather's getting there. Dawn's getting there. Richard's getting there. Canadian Patriot 1 is getting there. I'm getting there. Jacqueline Lou says she has 2 children with type 1 juvenile diabetes, and she's been prepared. She says she has to be prepared. Her greatest concern. Mine too. Mine too. Write an emergency preparedness plan. Write an emergency preparedness plan. You need to have a plan of what you're going to do and how you're going to handle things. If you don't have a preparedness plan, guess what? It's like walking into a brick wall. Because when the crap hits a fan and the oscillator's going around, you're going to walk into that thing and it's going to hit you in the face. Because you don't have a plan. Don't know where you're going to go or how you're going to get there. Write a plan down. We've talked about this before. You can go back during the last nearly 2 years of this program on this particular channel. I had one other channel before this where I had 25,000 subscribers because YouTube didn't like me talking about COVID. They took that down. They kept slapping me on the hand. Oh, you can't talk about that. Oh, you can't talk about that. The first time was 24-hour suspension. The next time was 1 week suspension. The next time was a 2-week suspension. And then a month suspension. And then they took my channel down. I came back with this channel now. We nearly have 6,000 subscribers. I'm hoping we'll get a lot more. The number of subscribers is not for me. It's for all of you. The more people we reach out to and touch, the more people we get this message to, the better. That's why I ask each one of you, almost every program, to reach out and touch someone. Share this program with someone else. If you're not subscribed to this channel, do so. Subscribe to this channel. When you do that, also click on that little bell icon. Click on that little bell icon. There will be a drop-down menu of 3 items come up. Click on the word ALL. That should get you notified when we come on the air. But subscribe to this channel. Invite your friends, your neighbors, your family, your extended family, and even the people you work with and socialize on social media. Invite them to watch this program. Because they need it. Everybody needs this program. I'm here on the air because I want to make sure all of you have the things you need, and your families as well. That's why I broadcast. That simply is the only reason Carol and I do this program. To make sure all of you have this message. And I appreciate each and every one of you. My beautiful friends and neighbors. Friends that I have had since I was a kid. One of my buddies that answered my poll here was a buddy I've had since I was 14 years of age. I was thankful to hear from him. I hear from him quite frequently. But this time, knowing that he is working on his preparedness kit and continues working on it, that was wonderful news. Because even my dearest friends are working on their preparedness kits. That's all I ask. That is all I ask, that you have a preparedness kit and you're writing an emergency preparedness plan. Richard Smith says we just passed 6,000 subscribers. Before we came on the air, we had just less than 6,000. Last week we had 5,800 and some subscribers. Now we passed 6,000. Now let's go over and pass 7,000 and 8,000 and 10,000. It took me 5 years to have 25,000 subscribers. Let's get 25,000 subscribers in the next 2 years. In the next 2 years. Please. Please. With all of you here helping me, we can do that. We can get this message of preparedness out to more and more people. That'd be wonderful. That would really be wonderful. Laura Marie says, congratulations on 6,000 subscribers. It's taken me a year and a half. Let's double that time and get 10,000 subscribers. In fact, by next summer, let's see if we can get to 10,000 subscribers. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? I think it would be. It would be a great thing. But I appreciate each and every one of you helping us get there. Because you're doing your job that I've asked you to do. Sharing the program. Watching the program. Following our advice. Following our advice. All of you doing it make me very happy. You make me very happy. The message is getting out. And that's exactly what we want. We need to get this message out to the masses. When I had to start a new channel, I was worried that some of the people who were on the other channel would find their way here. Some of them found their way here, but not everybody. So it's like we're starting over. Please, folks, if you know somebody that was on that other channel and you know who they are, try to reach out to them and bring them back here. Reach out to your friends and neighbors. Heidi Petrick just gave 5 people here memberships in the program here. Wonderful. Fantasy Dog was gifted a 1-month membership. Lee was gifted a 1-month membership. Robin Moore, Life B, and KGB was given a 1-month membership to our program here on YouTube. That's wonderful. Those people who were gifted memberships, please thank Heidi Petrick for that. Heidi, thank you so much. Those memberships mean the world to me because more and more people are getting memberships here. More and more people are taking part in our program. We want you here. We need you here and you need us. Each and every one of us is here for a reason. We're here for a reason. To learn from each other and become happier. Someone once told me it's true. We haven't come this way, this long distance for nothing. It's to feed our souls. We have not come this long distance for nothing. It is to feed our souls. Tomorrow night I'm going to be here. I'm going to talk about the Cascadia subduction zone. The southern part of the subduction zone is still getting beat around with earthquakes. That's going to continue happening for a long time. But I'm worried that these earthquakes are creeping down the San Francisco Bay. That San Francisco is going to get hit with a really strong earthquake. They haven't had a strong earthquake since 1989. 35 years. Usually it's every 10 years San Francisco Bay gets hit with a major quake. It could happen any day. Please, folks, get prepared. Get prepared. My friends in Southern California, get prepared. You're going to get hit with a major earthquake as well. Get prepared. Follow our admonition. Follow our admonition, what we talked about tonight. Be prepared. It's more than a Boy Scout slogan. Make it a way of life. Make it a way of life, brothers and sisters. It's worth it. Now, I want to leave you with a scripture, a devotional, at the end of our programs. Tonight's devotional comes from 2 Timothy. This time I'm going to chapter 3, verses 15 and 16. Actually, I'm going to verse 14 first, because verse 14 talks about what we talked about tonight. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation. Through what? Through what, guys? Faith. Faith. Which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Christ Jesus. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and for instruction in righteousness. Brothers and sisters, open your Scriptures. Open your Scriptures. I promise you in the name of Jesus Christ, that you're not going to be led away from the Scriptures. You won't be led away from Jesus Christ if you open your Scriptures and study the Scriptures. Read your Scriptures. There is a scripture that says the Scriptures will find eternal life. Through the Scriptures you'll find eternal life, which gift is the greatest of all gifts of God. Eternal life in God's kingdom. And I want to see you with me in God's kingdom. I want to see each and every one of you with me in God's kingdom. I love each one of you. I do. And there's a reason I do. Because we're family. We're family. I have tried to bring people into this family on Emergency Management Associates so we can learn together and learn to love each other. As I said before, back before Thanksgiving, we are in the trilogy of holidays. Thanksgiving, where we give thanks for what we have, for each other, the gospel of Jesus Christ, for Jesus Christ himself, that sets the example for each one of us, has given his life for us, so we might be able to return to him. Robert Lazar, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you so much. Robert Lazar has been a very dear friend of mine and a dear friend of our program for a lot of years. Thank you, Robert. God bless you. I started this program to teach you preparedness. I started this program to talk about earthquakes and other disasters and emergencies. We're still doing that. We are still doing that. Brothers and sisters, I care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be doing this. I would not be doing this. I love you. I have a great lot of love in my life, and I try to share with you. We are in the middle of the trilogy of holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The third holiday is New Year's. To set new goals. To set new goals and ideas to strive for. Thanksgiving, Christmas, where we worship and celebrate the Savior's life and birth, and New Year's. Brothers and sisters, think about that. Think about how you can make this trilogy of holidays work in your own life. Let's do it together. Like I said, I love you. I care about you all greatly, deeply. Think about this and let me know how you're doing. Send Carol and I an email. Send Carol and I a piece of mail to her post office box. For some reason, I don't know how this happened, our information scroll at the bottom of our screen hasn't been there for a little while. I just turned it on again. Send us a card to our post office box. Send us a letter to our post office box. And when you do that, you can also slip a donation in the card or letter. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see a donation to help us keep this program on the air. Unfortunately, it keeps getting more expensive. And yes, I know money's tight. But each and every dollar helps to keep this program on the air. We appreciate that so much. Now in closing, I ask the Lord to bless you. I ask the Lord to bless you and be with you each and every day. Folks, be here tomorrow when we talk about Cascadia, because we're going to have a major earthquake in the Cascadia region. It's coming. And I want to talk to you about it. God be with you this day and always. If anything else happens tonight, we will be back here on the air to talk about it as soon as the information comes out. As soon as it's available, we'll be on the air to talk about it. Otherwise, we'll see you at the earliest 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, between 6 and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. I hope to see you here. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. God be with you. Take care, everyone. Much love. We'll see you soon.